Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Today we're tackling a problem that plagues many drivers during the hot summer months. Car air conditioning that just won't cool down. It's frustrating, uncomfortable, and can even be dangerous. But don't worry, I'm here to help. In this video we'll explore 5 of the most common causes of car AC problems and show you how to diagnose and fix them yourself. So grab a cold drink, crank up the fan and let's get started. A/C refrigerant leaks. The most common cause of a car's air conditioning not cooling is a refrigerant leak. Refrigerant is the fluid that circulates through the air conditioning system and absorbs heat from the air. If there is a leak, the system will not have enough refrigerant to cool the air effectively. There are a few ways to check for a refrigerant leak. One is to look for signs of oil or dye around the air conditioning lines or compressor. Another is to use a leak detector, which is a device that can detect the presence of refrigerant in the air. If you suspect that your car has a refrigerant leak, it is important to take it to a mechanic to have it repaired. Cooling fan doesn't work. The cooling fan is responsible for blowing air over the condenser, which helps to cool the refrigerant. If the cooling fan is not working, the refrigerant will not be able to cool down, and the air conditioning will not work effectively. There are a few things that can cause the cooling fan to stop working. One is a blown fuse. Another is a faulty fan motor or relay. If you suspect that your cooling fan is not working, you should check the fuse and then take your car to a mechanic to have the fan motor or relay checked. Air conditioning condenser is defective. The air conditioning condenser is a heat exchanger that helps to cool the refrigerant. If the condenser is defective, it will not be able to cool the refrigerant effectively, and the air conditioning will not work properly. There are a few things that can cause the air conditioning condenser to become defective. One is damage from road debris. Another is corrosion. If you suspect that your air conditioning condenser is defective, you should take your car to a mechanic to have it inspected. Air conditioning compressor clutch and clutch relay problems. The air conditioning compressor is responsible for compressing the refrigerant. The compressor clutch is a device that engages and disengages the compressor. If the compressor clutch or clutch relay is not working properly, the compressor will not be able to compress the refrigerant and the air conditioning will not work. There are a few things that can cause the compressor clutch or clutch relay to stop working. One is a blown fuse. Another is a faulty clutch or relay. If you suspect that your compressor clutch or clutch relay is not working, you should check the fuse and then take your car to a mechanic to have the clutch or relay checked. Electrical problems. There are a number of electrical problems that can cause the car's air conditioning not to work. These problems can include a blown fuse, a faulty wiring harness, or a problem with the air conditioning control module. If you suspect that your car has an electrical problem, you should take it to a mechanic to have it diagnosed and repaired. Preliminary check. Before you start troubleshooting your car's air conditioning, there are a few things you can check. First, make sure that the air conditioning is turned on and that the fan is set to the highest setting. Second, check the air conditioning filter to make sure that it is not dirty or clogged. If the filter is dirty, it can restrict airflow and reduce the cooling capacity of the system. Finally, check the refrigerant level. If the refrigerant level is low, the system will not be able to cool the air effectively. If you have checked all of these things and your car's air conditioning is still not working, you will need to take it to a mechanic to have it diagnosed and repaired. The compressor is the heart of your car's air conditioning system. It compresses the refrigerant, which is then circulated through the system to cool the air. If the compressor is not working properly, the air conditioning will not be able to cool down the car. There are a few things you can do to check the compressor. First, make sure that the compressor clutch is engaged. The clutch is a magnetic device that connects the compressor to the engine. If the clutch is not engaged, the compressor will not turn on. You can usually hear the clutch engage when you turn on the air conditioning. If the clutch is engaged but the compressor is still not working, there may be a problem with the compressor itself. You will need to take your car to a mechanic to have the compressor checked. Refrigerant is the fluid that is circulated through the air conditioning system to cool the air. If there is a leak in the system, the refrigerant will escape and the air conditioning will not be able to cool down the car. There are a few ways to check for refrigerant leaks. One way is to use a leak detector. Leak detectors are available at most auto parts stores. Another way to check for leaks is to look for signs of oil around the air conditioning lines and components. If you see any oil, it may be a sign of a leak. If you suspect that there is a refrigerant leak, you will need to take your car to a mechanic to have it repaired. If your car's air conditioning is not working properly, there are a few things you can do to try to fix it yourself. However, it is important to note that some repairs may require the help of a professional mechanic. Here are a few things you can try. Check the refrigerant level. If the refrigerant level is low, you can add more refrigerant yourself. However, it is important to use the correct type of refrigerant for your car. Check the air filter. A dirty air filter can restrict airflow and reduce the efficiency of the air conditioning system. Replace the air filter if it is dirty. Check the belts and hoses. The belts and hoses in the air conditioning system can wear out over time. Inspect them for signs of wear and tear and replace them if necessary. If you have tried these things and your car's air conditioning is still not working properly, you will need to take it to a mechanic to have it diagnosed and repaired. There are a few things you can do to maintain your car's air conditioning system and keep it running properly. Here are a few tips. Run your air conditioning regularly. Even if you don't need to use it to cool down the car, run it for a few minutes every week. This will help to keep the system lubricated and prevent seals from drying out. Run your air conditioning in defrost mode. This will help to prevent the evaporator from freezing up. Check the air conditioning system regularly for leaks and cracks. Look for signs of oil around the lines and components. If you see any oil, it may be a sign of a leak. Inspect the cabin filter. A dirty cabin filter can restrict airflow and reduce the efficiency of the air conditioning system. Replace the cabin filter if it is dirty. Ask professionals to perform tests and refills. Every 2 years, it is a good idea to have a professional mechanic perform a test on your air conditioning system to make sure it is working properly. They can also refill the system with refrigerant if necessary. By following these tips, you can help to keep your car's air conditioning system running properly for years to come.